Guess what? After 13 years of sobriety, something I've learned along that journey when it comes to waking up each and every day without a hangover is the fact that I can now give myself permission to celebrate life, to celebrate the fact that I can do life on life's terms. And I know that if I can do it, you listening can also do it. And I'm here to inspire you to do it, to do life on life's terms. And the way that it worked for me was clearly I had to hit multiple rock bottoms. I had to really become broken as a man, like complete brokenness inside, self-sabotaging, jumping off of ledges, thinking I was going to hit the bottom, and instead I hit another ledge and I jumped again. Just because I didn't know how to sit with myself. Do you know how to sit with yourself? Have you ever just sat with yourself without distractions, without music, just in the silence of your heartbeat, your lungs breathing, your pulse, and clearly the life all around you, but to just sit with yourself, to hear yourself, to listen to yourself. A lot of times when you start listening, you're going to hear all kinds of crazy stuff coming through. I know I do. I still do. And some of these things are really meant to like hold us back. But the thing about doing life on life's terms and celebrating life is that you get the opportunity each and every day to become the best version of you, to see life as an opportunity to grow, to expand, to really find happiness in the most simplistic things. It doesn't have to be grandiose. It can be simple. It can literally be cultivating, a sense of self-worth, self-esteem, self-pride in knowing that you're becoming more and more conscientious about this whole existence. It's hard to celebrate a life that has you constantly living outside of yourself. That's a really challenging thing. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is if you're constantly thinking about wishing that things were different, wanting something to change, waiting for something to happen, watching other things happen, and never really looking in the mirror, looking inside, evaluating, reflecting, introspect, then you're living outside of yourself. You're doing everything you can to not have to sit with yourself, to be with yourself, to nurture yourself, to experience who you are, and to know that the most beautiful part of this whole entire existence called life is that you can change. You absolutely can make conscientious decisions to change your life. And it doesn't even require you changing your life. It requires you, step one, is to change your thoughts, your beliefs. And that is why it is so important to be able to sit with yourself. One of the other big things that it takes is, and I don't know what it's going to take for you. Comment down below. What will it take for you to forgive? Yes, I said forgive. The person or persons that have hurt you the most, that have violated you, that have caused you agony and terror and just feeling unsafe about the world, what would it take for you in your heart of hearts to be able to just release that person with forgiveness, with love, with joy, with peace, to release them? I can tell you throughout my 13-year journey of healing, I've forgiven everybody for everything. Like, I don't hold anyone responsible for anything that they've ever caused or done to me. And I've had a lot of people leave me for dead. I'm not understating that. Like, I have been literally left for dead. I have been betrayed in ways that are unimaginable. And yet, in my heart of hearts, I realize and I believe this, that I'm not a victim of the experiences that have caused me the most pain. Those were lessons that I needed to go through that can hurt. They hurt. You hurt. I hurt. You have pain. I know you have pain. But isn't it the whole purpose of this life experience for us to go through these experiences, right? Get to a place of an awakening. It's like a spiritual awakening. That's what we're talking about here. And in doing that, it takes you to be able to forgive those that have caused you harm. And I believe there's really a few pieces to that, to setting yourself free, to setting them free. Setting them free is really you setting yourself free, right? By holding on to anger, bitterness, justified or unjustified, you are literally anchoring yourself down. When just like these birds all around me are flying and soaring, just picture yourself like an eagle, right? If you were an eagle, you should be flying. Eagles are best when they are just soaring and it just almost looks effortless. That's how you're supposed to be. And yet, when you're holding on to the pain and the suffering and the anger and the hurt and the grief and the loss of things that have happened to you, you're literally putting yourself in a cage that isn't even locked, and you're refusing to leave the cage. And a lot of times that's happening subconsciously. So the difference between the subconscious is that's going to sabotage you, because that's all your subconscious is running programs that have been put in place for your protection, for your survival. And yet you have to transcend that stuff, because a lot of times these things will hold you back from truly being the best version of you, for living your best life, for celebrating life. This is what we're talking about. Just to wake up today is an opportunity for you to celebrate life, to celebrate yourself, to celebrate the fact that you get to have this experience. And I am absolutely on a mission to help people like you, like me, to set themselves free, to become the best version of themselves. And I'm telling you, one of the biggest thresholds along this spiritual journey is for you to have an attitude of forgiveness. Because again, I say this time and time and time again, you're not innocent. If you're someone that has been hurt by a lot of people, you have to be honest with yourself. Your pain has been the cause of someone else's pain. Will you hear that? Will you really, really, really hear that? That your pain that someone caused you your pain has caused someone else their pain? And there's all kinds of varying degrees. You can try and justify it and reason with it, saying, oh, but you don't understand. What someone else did to me is 10 times worse. It's not about 10 times or 1,000 times. It's just the fact that someone else's pain causes you pain. Your pain caused someone else pain. And it keeps going on and on and on and on and on and on. And that's really a big thing that connects us. And so if we're willing to conscientiously, spiritually, come to that conclusion that, you know what, yeah, man, it's such a sad story for some of the violations that have happened and harmed us, especially, bodily things that, a lot of sexual. We're talking a lot of sexual stuff. That's probably the worst. There's physical, abuse. There's a lot of psychological abuse, but there's a lot of like physical sexual abuse that really, really messes people up, man. It really does. And that usually leads to all kinds of other stuff. It opens us up to all kinds of other sexual encounters that are regrettable, and all kinds of other, we close down to trusting people, but we open ourselves up to a lot of dark energy and addiction problems and doing things that, we want to rid ourselves of. And the way you do it is to get into this spirit of forgiveness. And the way you get to that is you have to really evaluate, what do you believe about your existence here on this planet? If you are somebody that subscribes to that if someone causes you harm, right, that they should never be forgiven, they should be banished from your life, they should receive punishment, and even if justice isn't served, there ain't no freaking way you're ever going to forgive that person, ever, 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 ever. Well, shoot, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you were hurt, and I'm sorry you feel that way. Right? Just like, and I wish it could be different. I wish it was different for you. I wish you could have had a different experience. However, I'm someone that believes that because we as souls, beyond the government issued ID and the birth certificate and the physical body, that we're really just playing for a very temporary amount of time, that you're given an opportunity to transcend all that. And that happens at the soul level. At the soul level, there's no hierarchy. At the soul level, right, you're able to really see that without these bad experiences, there's no evolution of our soul, which I don't understand the mystery of that. I'm not going to pretend to understand the mystery as to how could we be so bored in the spiritual realm that we say, hey, let's go in here and let's have these human experiences, right, that cause us all this pain, that really, really we get lost. That's really the essence of it, is getting lost. Are you lost in this experience right now? Are you questioning this whole entire experience called life? That you're so heavily embedded in the experience of this human experience that you're having as a eternal soul, that you literally, when you think of the soul, it's like it's an internal conflict. Like you don't know how to reason with that because you are just so heavily and deeply attached to this experience. And that is the whole thing. But I know that throughout this 13-year healing journey that I've been on, I have awakened to a new reality. And it's a soul level reality where I have been able to disconnect from all types of addictions, all types of self-medicating habits and behaviors and patterns and beliefs, and carrying around grudges and anger and bitterness and unforgiveness and hatred in my heart, to be able to like set people free and genuinely have peace within, peace around, peace everywhere. And I believe that you can do the exact same thing if you so choose, if you're ready. And a lot of times, if you don't know where to start, you should reach out for some help. You should seek some help. It was what part of my process to get to here. And I really don't believe it's going to take you 13 years of wandering and trying to figure everything out. Because what I do see is more and more and more people, just like you, awakening to this whole new concept, this whole new reality that is not the old reality. The old reality is literally suffering, hustle, grind, greed, get the bag, get the body, get the relationship. That there's something more that we're seeking at the soul level, at the spiritual level, at the energetic level. And that is the shift that's happening on this planet. And if you're someone that this message resonates with, I'm telling you, there's an incredible calling on your life. There's an opportunity for you to truly be a part of helping to make this world a better place, a more harmonious place, less suffering. And that takes you shifting your mindset, your mentality, your understanding of 3D reality. And if any of this makes sense to you, trust me, it's because your time is now. It's time to put in the work. And if you're someone that thinks you might need some help along your spiritual journey, reach out. Greg at resultskillexcuses.com. And let's talk about where you're at, and let's talk about where you want to go, and let's talk about what are the things that you feel are holding you back. What are the things that you want to heal and release? Who are the people you want to forgive and not just forget? That's a huge thing. It's one thing to try and just say it. I forgive them. Forget about them, man. It's over. Buried the hatchet. It's like, no, that ain't it. It's way deeper. It's way, way, way deeper of a process that we need to be able to do with ourselves energetically to really just release people, sending them love. It's not just forgiving somebody. It's literally sending them love, that if they were to walk in the door, you would want to give them a hug and tell them that you love them and you understand why the situation that happened between you and them, here's the thing, with a trust that whatever has happened and transpired between you two is over. Right? That was the karmic contract. That was the soul contract that you and this person had. And it's over. And it doesn't need to be repeated. But if you could just imagine that person walking in the door, that you would just be filled with love and light, saying it's like they're your teacher. And they're here to teach you a very difficult, challenging lesson. And yet, psychologically, so many of us, we're warped. We have warped minds to be able to even fathom doing such a thing based on, our systems that we have put in place, these law and order. And, when someone does something bad, they need to pay the price. And, they cause suffering to you, so you need to cause suffering to them. And it's like, justice will be served. And that's the old paradigm. And in no way, shape am I saying that, conscientiously that gives anybody a free pass to go and cause harm, but you have to get to the root of why is someone causing harm, because some people don't just wake up and say, I want to cause harm. I'm innocent today. I've never hurt anybody. Think about this. Do you think anybody that's done the most heinous things on this planet woke up and said, I'm so innocent, I'm so filled with love, let me go do heinous things to other people? No. Bad things were done to them. And this is their way of dealing with it. Which is, I know that I've been given a very challenging mission on this planet. And I know that people that are being attracted into this message, this frequency that I'm putting off, which is growing, it's changing, it's transforming every single moment of every single day. I keep healing. I keep going deeper and deeper on my spiritual awakening, my Kundalini awakening, my opportunity to truly align myself with the highest version of myself. And in doing that, it does take great faith to realize that we're all playing these teacher, right, student roles, that someone that has caused you pain, there's a soul contract that they were your teacher. This lesson needed to be taught to you in order for you to pass the class. If this does not make sense to you, maybe it's just not your time. If it is making sense to you, then you're right where you need to be. Stay locked in. Keep allowing yourself permission to learn and grow and not look for quick fixes, right? Try new things, experience new things, but try and focus on things that actually build you up and don't tear you down. Things that bring life to you, things that give you more clarity and confidence that what you're doing is beneficial for yourself, that you are becoming more true and authentic to who you are meant to be on this planet, and that your contribution matters. Your life matters. Your energy matters. That if you're someone that's really down and depressed and sad and can't even fathom really celebrating life, you can celebrate other people, but not yourself. It's like, that's a huge opportunity in an area that you can heal, that you truly are worthy to celebrate yourself, celebrate your life. And you may look around and say, well, this you don't understand, my life's a fucking living hell. And it's like, well, guess what, you can change. And it starts mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and then it becomes physical. So you have to shift your mindset. You have to become more positively inclined to realize that everything you desire, everything you dream of can become your reality now, but you need to really tap into the feeling of these things. And the reason why it's hard for you to feel these things is because you're holding on to a lot of pain, a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, a lot of anger, a lot of bitterness. Maybe some of it's geared towards others, but a lot of it is probably just geared towards yourself. You're just mad at yourself. Why? Because you've let you down. Because you didn't fulfill everything. Because something happened to you in life, threw a curveball, and the winning streak came crashing down. I've experienced that. And yet I didn't allow that to beat me down, even though it wanted to. It wanted to take me out. Right? I've had experiences that absolutely wanted to take me out. And they came really close. Came very, very, very close. And if you're feeling like you're very close to giving up, tapping out, having a relapse, man, don't do it. Reach out, get some help. Seek some help. Quit trying to do it all by yourself. You have to do it on your own. No one's going to keep you sober. No one's going to do the work. No one's going to be able to ask for help for you. If they do, then, there's a lot of codependency there. But when you truly realize your value, your worth, and you're willing to actually ask for some help on your own, you're unstoppable. right? If you're not listening to positive affirmations every day, you need to be listening to positive affirmations. Especially in the morning, you need to be setting yourself up for success. You can't be listening to a bunch of negative, toxic music that makes you feel good. You need to really be listening to stuff that challenges you because it's so positive, because, it's talking about you being healthy and wealthy and loving and kind and generous and abundant and prosperous and successful and, happy and loving. It's like all these things can be uncomfortable when you're just feeling down. Give yourself permission to wash your mind, your body, and your soul with some positivity today. If you need some help, reach out. Greg at resultskillexcuses.com. If you're looking for some content to really invest in terms of leaving self-sabotage and going into some self-discovery work, download the app, resultskillexcuses.com, or Results Kill Excuses on your app store. If you're looking for an incredible resource for the next 91 days, click on that link down below. Check out that 1% Better Everyday Journal. If you've made it this far and you haven't pulled the trigger on that yet, man, make that investment in yourself. Sure, it supports the channel and I greatly appreciate that, but it's an investment in you. You're going to learn a lot about yourself, and that's really what you need to do, is understand more about who you are and really get to a place of accepting yourself. But don't just settle for what you learn. Open yourself up to find ways to improve the areas of your life that you would like to see growth in, that you would like to become a better version of yourself. And it's not with guilt and shame. If you're someone that's lacking mental health or mental clarity or emotional stability, right? Like, there's ways for you to gain a foothold on that. If you're someone that wants to open yourself up to being more spiritual, right? There's a lot of areas that you can do that in terms of meditation and prayer and really just connecting it with nature. And if you're someone that even lacks the physical health, there's lots and lots of ways that you can do that. And yet I think a lot of people just continue to find themselves in a place of stagnation and being afraid or listening to that negative voice inside your head that says, well, we don't have time for that now. Today's not the day. Let's wait till next week, next month, next year. And the thing is that may never come. Hearing this now it's a seed being planted. Whether you take care of that seed and let it grow is up to you. I'm going to keep planting seeds. I'm going to keep scattering. I'm going to keep sharing a message of life. Not here for entertainment purposes, but here to help encourage people to become the best version of themselves. Join me on this mission. Let's build a community of like-minded people that truly are willing to hold themselves accountable first, right? To help build each other up. We don't need to tear each other down. We don't need to be triggered and be nasty. It's genuine, man. People are hungry for this. They're hungry for it. And with that being said, I thank you for being here today. Find ways to celebrate life. I know for me, I used to celebrate in very destructive ways. And yet here I am, going on 13 years, waking up sober, enjoying all the birds, enjoying the abundance of nature, the fresh air, the warm bed, the comfy bed, the warm showers, the fresh water, the healthy food, and being able to connect with you. It really does fill my cup. I'm so grateful for that. Subscribe to the channel, share the message. Just know that there are greater and greater things coming. And I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you giving yourself permission to connect with this message. Share the message if it's connecting with you. Comment down below. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Right? I find so much encouragement when you find the strength to be seen, to be heard, and to share your story here on the Results Kill Excuses channel. I love you guys. You know the drill. Results kill excuses because If it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Greg's out.